Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Kerbal Space Program JNSQ. Grab your snacks because today is going to be a slightly longer than usual one. So, first of all, what are we doing? Well, we are putting together a new first stage for our landers. So, we are switching to a cryogenic fuel. I believe it's methane. Not 100% sure. I don't remember. We're going to see in a sec. But we are going to be putting a lander on Minmus to get a little bit more science so we can get bigger probe cores and more communication gear and whatnot. So we are just going to go ahead and speed right through this construction here. And we are at the launch pad and we are lifting off to head to Minmus. I did a little flip there for show. No, I just lost control. It's fine, whatever. This is KSP, it doesn't really matter. But we are ascending. We are getting quite toasty. First set of boosters is away. 3 kilometers per second, setting Minmus as our target. Getting our good orbit. Detaching, that is first stage separation right there. We are time warping up to apoapsis in order to raise our periapsis. Fairing away, slide back down to periapsis, and get our burn started for Minmus. Get our trans-Minmus injection burn started. So I know this is our first time going to Minmus, but we're just going to kind of speed through this because last time I did say we would be going to Duna this time. So we are just waiting until we time warp up there, but Minmus has a little bit of an inclination, so you just want to make sure that Minmus is 90 degrees before the node, the ascending or descending node, which is the point at which its orbit will cross your orbit, thereby minimizing the plane change delta V, because plane changing is a lot of delta V. I don't remember the formula. Actually, you know what, I can look that up. Yeah, so whatever, can't find it. But basically, we're just coming in for our landing now. But for plane changes, the further you are away from your body, well, from the body that you're orbiting, the cheaper it's going to be. But here we are, we're just doing our science on the surface of Minmus. We're kind of skipping through this pretty fast. We will come back here in the future. It's all good. So no worries there. We're gonna bring some crew back here eventually. Not this time. We just want to get our first mobile lander here. Hopping up so we can grab some science from above Minmus. Grabbing all that science, transfer it into our pod. Turning sideways and blasting off into orbit. Since Minmus's gravity is really low, you can basically just like hop up and go sideways nearly instantaneously. You don't have to worry about anything. We're just grabbing some science from high above Minmus now, just so we can maximize the science we get. And now we are planning our journey home. Yes, I'm sorry, our first journey to Minmus was 4 minutes, but like I said before, we have a date with the Red Planet. Not the Red Store, the Red Planet. I don't like the Red Store very much. But the Red Planet, oh, that's something else entirely. Yes, here we come. We are coming in for our re-entry burn and ultimately our landing to give us all of that sweet, sweet science. So just trying to avoid burning up in the atmosphere. Burning retrograde almost to the point of burning up, but we detached. Our heat shield will protect us now, so we are all good. And it looks like we're gonna come to a splashdown just off the coast of, what is it? I have no idea. I'm not a Kerbalologist. I don't know. I'm not a Kerbal map maker. I just play for the space stuff. It's fine. And there we go. Recover that. And we can hop back into the VAB so we can create a solar probe so we can get some science from outside of Kerbin's sphere of influence. But first we need to get more science, so we got some more parts, so we'll grab the better solar panels and the probe control and more probes. And I think I'm just looking at what I want to get here. But I believe we're getting that and landing. And we are getting some more plane parts, maybe? Not 100% sure. I don't remember. You guys can see it on screen better than I can because I don't have my 4K screen right now. We will be getting the parts in next week, the 18th, I believe. So, yeah. Maybe this will already be out by then, but I record these way in advance. So, we are just going to be putting together our solar exploration probe, and we are using the solar observatory from the Mole mod, which again is the Gemini kind of expansion mod that has a bunch of Gemini parts and a bunch of like extra long duration experiments. But we're going to throw in some solar panels. I believe I'm going to modify this in just a second. So we're putting on some batteries because we have batteries now. Yep, there we go, just popping those on the side. Just looking what that is, I don't really know. I think it's batteries. Putting out some more batteries. Looking for another antenna, but I realize we don't actually need it. Grab our 30-ton lifter, because it's not that heavy. Just fixing that up a little bit. Yes. So update from last time. I don't remember if I told you this, but like there was a guy who was being super abrasive in getting a second gen Apple Pencil. I think I said it in my second Jedi Fallen Order episode. But basically he was like, oh, I want a Apple Pencil. I want the newest Apple Pencil. I was like asking, are you sure? Is this what you need? What's your iPad? Whatever. And he was like, oh, I just want the newest one. Something like that. Whatever. Kind of annoying. But in the returns today, we have to process the returns. They just do that up at customer service. I don't actually get to see it, but I did see a second gen Apple Pencil. So it's my own personal headcanon that he realized he was wrong, that it wasn't working, that it was going to work with his iPad, and that he had to bring it back. I don't know, I can't confirm. I didn't remember the serials or anything, but that's my personal headcanon, my own personal thoughts. Because it's funny. Because you gotta listen to your retail people, because all they're doing is trying to help you. There's another customer today, and he was asking for an Apple Pencil. He was super kind about it. I asked him, what kind of pencil do you need? He was like, oh, fresh gen. I was like, okay, cool, let me just go check in the back. We didn't have it, but super cool guy. Yeah, that's all my work stories for today. I mean, yeah, I'm just at the red store. It's, whatever. I do have some more applications I just put in today, so fingers crossed I get those. But it's out of state, like across the country, so like, yeah, I'd have to, I could probably bring my little PC, my gaming PC that I built myself and everything. I have a custom case. I will show that to you another time, but yeah, I have that, and then I have a bigger PC, my Hackintosh, which is water cooled. It's very heavy. I don't think I'd be able to bring that. So if I did get that job, I'd probably bring my gaming PC, and then I'd have to buy another like computer, probably go for a 16 gig M1 Mac Mini or M2 if it's out by then, but probably not. But yeah, it's through a recruiter. So the guy was asking like, what's my salary range? I said like 75 to 85, and he said, oh, sorry, the lowest range we can do is like 87 to 91. Is that okay? I'm like, dude, of course it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And I absolutely take more money. So fingers crossed. I get that, because the red store sucks. Just retail in general sucks. My heart goes out to all you fellows out in retail. All my retail homies. Except the managers. Managers are usually okay. But here we are going out of Carbon's sphere of influence. And we are ready to pick up some beautiful, beautiful science. So we can just decouple that upper stage, then second stage, and then we can just go ahead and deorbit that, because this has now like 4,000 meters per second in it. So that should be plenty to be able to deorbit us. And there we go. And now it's just going to crash and burn in Kerbin's atmosphere. Why did I just switch to the debris? Oh, because it was covering the thing. Okay, there. That's our probe. Beautiful. Can turn off the debris there. It's absolutely fine. Time warp out. And here we are in interplanetary space. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are between planets right now, orbiting the sun. And we're just adjusting our orbit just a little bit. Okay, kind of a lot. I don't know why I did what I did, but whatever. I recorded this a couple days ago, like before the first... Actually, no, that's not a good point of reference. I'm recording this on the 12th, and I'm recording the audio on the 12th, and I did the video probably like 3 or 4 days ago now. I've just been kind of busy with work and stuff, but like, this is probably gonna go like the 21st or something, because I like to maintain a huge like backlog, so I have some buffer room. Because posting every other day is kind of a lot of work if you don't have a backlog to like put up. Because I upload it and then I schedule it. I looked at my most recent one that I have up, just had 2 days to it, because I like to have a 2-day gap. I don't want to do every day because that's kind of stressful. So we're doing every 2 days. So I hope you guys like the new series we're doing. We're doing Jedi Fallen Order. That's a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun. I hope you guys are too. If you are, just like leave a comment. Tell me how you think. Tell me what you feel about it. If I'm doing great. Star Wars Battlefront, the OG, is awesome. I'm trying to get 1080p to work. That's why I haven't posted in a few days, in a little while. I might have to go to Xbox, just because for some reason I have the GOG, the GOG, I think it stands for Good Old Games, version of it, and when you switch it to 1080p, the menu will load fine, but once you load into a game, it'll like just go to a black screen until you hit the pause button, and then like it's basically unplayable. So maybe there's a mod for that, maybe there's some sort of fix. But yeah, what we're doing now is we are modifying our Duna lander. I was originally going to use the 2-piece Hunter Exploration Falcon 9 style lander, but that didn't work in my testing. It would just like flip out and not be fun. But we are trying to use a Balut on the top. It's basically a big old parachute you extend in space, and it'll help stabilize you, and it'll help create a lot of drag to slow you down in upper atmosphere. We'll see if that works in a little bit. Spoilers, it doesn't. Just for whatever reason. Maybe the mod, maybe the atmosphere is too thin. I'm not really sure. I'll have to do some more investigating. But yeah. Oh, this configuration may or may not work. You'll see closer to the end of this episode. But we shall begin on our triumphant voyage to the Red Planet for the very first time. Actually, this is kind of cool because I haven't actually been to Duna in JNSQ before. Like, I've played this a couple times, but I've just gone as far as none. And like, I haven't been able to do anything more just because of like time and stuff, and I didn't have a good enough computer, because before I was running like okay, so at first, like 2 years ago, I was running an i5 4570 and an RX 580 4GB. I still have a 590 JNSQ system right now. Oh, and we're launching, by the way. I sold the 4GB 580 to my friend. He's using it for VR because I was at like the height of the pandemic. I said I was able to get my 3060 off another friend. He used to work at Best Buy, so he gave me his employee discount. He doesn't work there anymore, kind of sad, but it is what it is. So I got a 3060 for $600 on discount, so that's pretty good. So I thought, hey, I don't really need this anymore. I have a gamer friend in need. I think he was like running a 750 or something, or a 960 or something. He wasn't able to do VR. He had I think it's Meta Quest 2 right now, that he wanted to play Skyrim Special Edition on, Skyrim VR. But he didn't have the GPU, so I was like, hey, the specs sheet says RX 580 could do it. Let me sell you mine. So I sold it to him basically just for the price I bought it, which was pre-pandemic, so that was pretty good. So it was like, I think I sold him for $120, and they were going for like $300 or $400 at the time. So while I did lose out on quite a bit of money, I don't care. I've known him since high school, since like middle school actually. And I was just happy that I went to a gamer and not to a miner. But I tried mining on it just for a little bit, and it kind of sucked, so whatever. But definitely happy that I went to someone I know, and like who would actually use it for gaming and not just to like flip or whatever. And then when my LG 4K Ultrafine started going, I thought it was my dinky little RX 560 2GB that I bought just for like messing around on or whatever. I thought that was going. I thought it was a cable going, but no, it turns out to be the logic board, like the control board. So I located a control board replacement. I bought it today. It was like $300, but it's such a beautiful display. It's 4K, it's 21.5 inches, it's Retina, it's gorgeous. It has, I think, it supports a P3 color gamut. It's really high quality. It's so good for photography. I will show some of that, some of my editing styles. Maybe in the future if you want it. Leave a comment. I'm also a photographer, engineer, photographer, gamer. I do a lot of stuff. It's a lot of fun. I don't mind it. It keeps me busy. But my hobbies are so expensive. So but hey, photography kind of pays for itself because I have friends and they'll be like, hey, I need some photos, and I'll be like, hey, I got you. So yeah, that's that. Okay, so here we're just doing our final adjustments to get our Duna encounter. We are just throttling down our RCS, and we are time warping up there. it is a little bit slow. I have to install the Warp Anywhere mod. I already did. Actually, I just haven't done it for this episode yet. When I was recording, I should be able to time warp a little bit faster now. So time warping up. And just adjusting so we get solar panel exposure. So we can have some power, so we can continue to keep that hydrogen fuel at the proper temperature. Also, we are losing reception, basically. We're losing some fuel due to boil off, so I'm just moving it all to the bottom tank, and then we're going to disable cooling on those upper fuel tanks, because it does use quite a bit of electricity to keep it all cold. And as you get away from the sun, you do start to lose effectiveness in your solar panels. They don't produce quite as much power as they did back on Kerbin. And as you get to the inner planets like Moho and Eve, you will produce more power than you did at Kerbin because of the inverse square law. Basically saying the further you get away from a light source, the more the power drops that you can get from it. So for every unit of distance you get away, your power will drop by that distance squared, proportional to it anyways. So we are entering the atmosphere of Duna. We are going to make our very first landing. Actually, this is our first entry into Duna, along with our first landing. Okay, I lied. This took like a bajillion times to get right, but it's fine. I got it in the end. I actually had to ditch the fairing. I had to ditch the upper stage, and we are sailing away on our heat shield. I thought the heating would be a bit more, but yep. But hey, as we are coming down to make our landing, that is all I have for you today. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button. If you loved it, make sure to subscribe. Leave any comments or thoughts in the comment section below. Ring that bell for the notifications. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.